Hello everyone and welcome back to MixBuzz TV mixing and mastering tutorials on YouTube. They aren't sexy, they don't emulate the oldest esoteric piece of gear found in the basement of Abbey Road Studios, and they come for free. So they get sometimes overlooked, but some of them are as useful as some of the more expensive and shiny ones. So if you didn't give these guys a chance, here's a list of my favorite Pro Tools stock plugins. For this list, I choose only plugins that come stock with Pro Tools based on functionality, ease of use, effectiveness, features, and sound quality. And I tried to include one for each type of plugin. I will give you the plugin, why I like it, what I think it's good for, and what I usually use them for. So let's get started. I will not spend too much time on each plugin because I want to keep this video short and because I want you to experiment yourself. Since these are stock plugins, everyone has it. So let's start with number 10, Sci-Fi. In the modulation category, this one is cool for anything where you want some weird sci-fi effect. Let's hear it on keyboards, for example. You can go for a weird panning, stuttering effect like this. Or in freak mode for down tuning. Okay, and get crazy to really strange stuff like this one. Like flanger effects. So it's a very cool plugin, very creative. I tried on effects, for example, on some return of a delay or a reverb. It's very cool. Number 9, Filter Gate. This one is a little gem. It's found in the modulation category again. And it's cool for in time or off time gate effects. Whether they are resonating or not. It's very cool if you want to create new patterns for loops or hi-hats, basses. Let's just scroll some with the presets. It's very cool on synths too, on strings, it can be interesting, and also, again, effects. Don't be afraid to put effect on your effects, like delay and reverbs. And let's go on with number 8, StereoWidth. This is as simple as it gets, but it works well, and I especially like this one when I want to create something out of phasey, kind of wide. So I wouldn't use it as a stereo widener in the classic way that we think at stereo widening, more like an obvious effect. Well, it does work well as a stereo widening. You can hear it without. The one thing that I like is that has the low, mid, and high processing, so you can actually widen something and stereoize it while keeping the low end mono. So, like in this case. And adjust each band to make it as wide as you want. Okay, it is also cool again on drum machines and synths and guitars too. That is pretty cool on guitars. So let's go on with number 7, the enhancer. It's found in the harmonic category. Let's try it on Boom, for example, which by the way comes stock with Pro Tools too. The enhancer plugin is more like a pseudo-acoustic processor. It adds subharmonic or high-end harmonics without adding too much level. A lot like other processor like the BBA maximizer. Let's try. Without, you can adjust the low frequency. It's pretty cool. I gotta be honest, I like the low gain, the low part of a harmonic more than the high. The high, I'm not a fan. But if you need on some material, see, it sounds a little phasey here, but the low end is cool. You can try it on bass too. You can decide phase, harmonic generation, so how rich. So again, it's cool. I like the low end part more than the high, but experiment with it. It's cool on bass and it can be cool on vocals too. So let's go on with number 6, which is the good old BF76. We have so many 1176 emulation, and this one, to be honest, is not among the best, but it's definitely the best for stock plugin, and it has its uses. And the characteristic that I like about this one is that it's very pillowy, which has nothing to do with the real 1176, but it can be useful in some situation. Like I like it for parallel vocal compression, for example, when the vocals is too piercing or too harsh. This pillowy kind of sound that this compressor has, it can be useful. Let's try it on parallel for drums, for example. It does the all bottom mode. Okay. Let's hear it with the drum. It's also cool on bass, and like I said, on some vocals. Just experiment with it. It's, again, stock, is free. It's cool to use sometimes. Let's go on with number 5, which is Lo-Fi. This one has got a facelift like some of the other Avid plugins, but it's the good old Lo-Fi. There are 2 Lo-Fis. The other one is the Air, I think, or the DigiDesign Air Lo-Fi. But this one is the good old Lo-Fi. It's very nice for distortion of any kind, vocals, whether is in insert or parallel, saturation. It's very good for darken things that are too bright, and you can do it in 2 ways. I'll show you on this drum. You can darken things just by lowering the sample rate. For obviously a lo-fi kind of sound. The saturation also darkens, and you bump the low end. A little goes a long way with this one. Okay, so just, I stay in the range of 0.1 to 0.5 with this one. And my favorite control is the distortion. It doesn't compensate for the volume, so you have to compensate yourself, but it's very, very nice. Take a look at the peak level. It increases the perception, the volume overall, but it compresses and it clips the peaks, so you usually don't clip on the channel when you apply distortion here. It boosts the signal, the perception of the volume, but you don't actually increase the nominal level without. Width. Okay. Let's scroll some of the crazy presets. to full destruction, okay? It is a very cool plugin, again, either in insert or for paralleling stuff. And you find this one on the harmonic category. And let's go on with number 4, the PS1 Sansamp. Now I have the rack version of this. I have the PS 1.1, and I can tell you this one today is one of the best analog emulation I've ever found. It sounds so very close to the original, and it's great. It's my go-to for bass. I usually put the rack version and I track with it, but if I don't have it, I have this one on insert on all the songs, and the sound is so very close to the original. So let's try it on bass. And let me go to one of my favorite, which is the SVT. Instant, bigger bass without. So nice. And it has some crazy preset. Well, it always sounds good. Can get nasty. To full distortion. Think about it as a sort of multi-band distortion. I won't go into detail too much with this, but it's great for overdriving and saturating everything. I did run everything through this thing. Snares, full drum kit, vocals, bass, guitars, everything is very, very cool. It's very analog sounding, and it has a lot of control. It's deceivingly simple to use this thing. The truth is very, very deep, so experiment with it. It's one of my favorite distortion plugin, and of course you find this one in the harmonic section. Let's go with number 3, mod delay. Now this one is pretty simple. It's just a delay, but this is why I like it, because it's simple, it's really fast to use, it's really easy to use, really easy to set up. And for example, I have it on this mix on guitars. This one is the original. Without, the guitars sound like this, mono. So you can use it as a stereoizer. Or you can use it as a normal delay with repetition. The thing I like that you can sync it in time. It has a very good sounding low pass filter. Independent or linked. Again, very easy to use. It has a modulation section too. You can go a little crazy. Okay, very, very easy to use. One of my favorite stock plugin. Okay, let's go on with number 2. Don't tell me you didn't see this one coming. Is D-Verb. Obviously. It became such an industry standard. I'm laughing while I'm saying it because it's probably one of the more lo-fi and simple reverb there is in the market, and yet it made countless top 10 records in the world. I know so many top tier engineers using this one for lead vocals or drums or anything, and reality is it sounds good. It's easy to use, everybody has it, so no matter the system you recorded your session or you did your rough mix, you know everybody has D-Verb, and probably is the first reverb that you put for tracking, and more often than we like to admit, it makes the final mix. Whether because it sounds good or because we get used to it, reality is D-Verb is probably one of the more present stock plugin in top 10 mixes. And let's try it on vocal really fast. You can use a mono.
You make it hard, I wanna stop and stare.
It has a simple pre-delay.
Behind those eyes, what else you got in there? 'Cause you
different room,
make me feel like I should learn to stop time.
filters, and different algorithms.
I will give you this life that I'm in.
Or you can use it mono to stereo.
You make it hard, I wanna stop and stare.
It can sound very warm.
Behind those eyes, what else you got in there? 'Cause you make me feel like I should learn to stop time.
And you're set to go. It's very easy to set up.
I will give you this life that I'm in if you show me the other side.
It has a no-linear algorithm, hall, church, plate, 2 rooms.
Stop and stare.
Again, it's not that you didn't know this one, but it had to make the top 3 because it's just good sounding and strangely enough, an industry standard. And finally, we have our number 1, which is the Avid channel strip. Based on the System 5, you have everything on this plugin. You have your EQ, your expander gate, your compressor limiter, and internal or external sidechain, an all control view. You had the visual graphic here of the EQ, and it just sounds good. You could mix a whole album with just this plugin. The compressors sound great. The EQ sound great. Actually sounds to my ears a lot better than the stock EQ7 or the other stock EQ that Pro Tools has. You have everything from trim to phase inversion, everything. I have it on the master fader. As a sweet top band. Life that I'm in if you show me the other side. Knee control for the compressor. Without. So I'm not necessarily trying to make anything sound better here, just show you the plugin itself. So this is a great plugin. It is one of the most underrated plugin, I think, in my opinion, in general. And it comes stock. And if you don't have anything else, really you can throw this on every channel and you could mix an album with this one. So this is it for today. Let me know which ones are your favorite stock plugins, if some of them didn't make the list, or if you have a different DAW other than Pro Tools, write it in the comment down below your top 10 stock plugin for the DAW you use. Keep in mind that this is the first of a long series of top 10s video that will come out in the next weeks. And there will be obviously third-party plugins for the best EQ, best compressor, analog emulation, special processor, and also by application, so best this and that for vocal, bass, drum, etc. So stay tuned. In the meantime, if you like this video, please don't forget to click the like button, support the channel by sharing the videos on your social media and forums, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and see you next time.